What's up, everybody? I'm Jason. This is the Freebird Garage, and today we are reviewing the Big Bear Chopper's front motor mount on the FXR. Before we get on the road itself, talking about it, I want to talk about the design. From here to here is a bar, and then obviously now the two mounts that hold this motor mount, which obviously hold the front motor itself. What used to be here was a mount or a bracket that this regulator would sit on top, and then from there a triangular piece like this would hook here and then sit over on top or underneath here, underneath the bracket of what this was, and that had a rubber bushing on it, and as well as a linkage on this side here that would connect. Let's hop on the bike, talk more about it. I think it was finally time to give this front motor mount by Big Bear Choppers a good review. I've had it for now about 2 years. There's two major improvements that this front motor mount really did for me. Now, originally when I wanted this motor mount, one, for the insurance. After getting the FXR, looking around and seeing that guys that were riding these things really hard, whether it be wheelies, particularly more wheelies, that the ears on the front motor mount are notorious for breaking or cracking off. Now, of course, if you're not doing wheelies, probably you aren't going to have to worry about that too much. But I just love having that reinsurance pool. What if I want to start ripping nooners out there? I want to have insurance for that. That was my number one point. I just wanted to know that I wasn't going to have to go through that if in case something happened to the front area like that and it were to snap off, break, and have to go down the road in front of you welded fix. The second portion, which I didn't think was going to be a big change, but I actually overcame, I think, the insurance side of getting this thing on here for the bike, which is the handling. Got it on here, and I said, well, what more can it really do to change the handling? That this bike's already pretty good style ridge frame. You know, it's very sturdy. Handles very well in the corners. That's why the FXR is very well known for what it is, for how old it is as far as handling in the corners. And it improved dramatically, I thought. I felt like it just hugged even better, and you feel a little more confident. There's no wobble or anything. You don't get any hesitations. You know, my previous ones, I do have to say, or my previous setup I did have on here prior to getting this motor on as well, was I had the buckhorns, I had the rubber bushings up here, I now have power plant copper bushings up here. And the reason for, one, replacing the buckhorns, not very comfortable in my opinion. They just didn't handle like crap. To make things worse, the bushings that are up front that hold them have so much play into them that I felt like you literally could just push your handlebars forward or backwards, and going through a corner at 40 miles an hour was not ideal in my opinion. So I replaced with the power plant copper bushings. Once you do that, once you get rid of the bushings, you get quite extensive vibrations coming through. In order to get rid of those vibrations, I wasn't too sure. It didn't really bother me. It was just more you to go ride, come back, your hands would kind of give that vibration feel after a long ride. A little bit of a numbness to it, but you got used to it. After getting this Big Bear Chopper front motor mount on, wow, that was cool to feel that it took, I want to say, almost, it's got to be close to 60 to 70% of the vibrations of this bike up front gone. Ride this thing all day long and not have that feeling. I mean, these bikes in general, it's an older Harley, they all vibrate. I mean, if you're getting an old Harley, you gotta expect that, but wow, it completely changed the dynamic of that for me, and I think it's fantastic. The downside, which depends on if you want one or not, is getting a crash bar. They don't make ones that are direct fit other than specialty companies. Bung King is one, is Elite, IMZZ, however you say it, Elite, they have one as well. Still deciding on which way I want to go with one. Eventually want to get a crash bar, just because OG paint on here, you can't find that on the shelf anymore, and if it is decently nice, you want to save your investment of what you put into the bike. My final thoughts on it, I definitely think that if you have an FXR, you should look into having this. Well known in the dynas out there. I think there hasn't been enough reviews for FXRs, and I am a big believer in them. I think it is a fantastic upgrade, generally inexpensive for what you get in return. Now, people think for a motor mount, wow, that's a lot of money. Why don't I just stay with the original one and go with polyurethane or something? You're not just buying a rubber bushing and putting it in there. You're getting a whole new design that is going to change the characteristics of your bike for the better. It's going to, improve, like I said, the insurance of your bike of helping anything to get destroyed, and you're going to get better handling out of your bike and less vibration. That's just a win in my book on both sides. Oh, lastly to note on this vibration, tell you the difference, the mirrors. I couldn't see out of these mirrors because the vibrations were so bad on this bike that you just kind of like, well, I think there's someone behind me. That's different now. There is not that problem anymore. That about wraps it up for this one. As always, if you made it all the way through, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button, tap that like, press that notification, leave a comment below and tell me what you think. And for those who have already subscribed, thank you. As always, stay free. I'll catch you guys later.